I've got a D&D game that I play with my siblings. And we left it last week in a very precarious position. Potentially positioned for a TPK. And I'm not going to be there this week.
Oh, God. Who's controlling you?
My brother.
Your fake brother or your real brother?
My fake brother.
Oh, God.
There's a lot there.
One of my brothers, James, has never met.
No, that's not true. I have 100% met them at this point.
Yeah.
The joke was, for years we didn't. Because when you and your family moved here, because you're about my age, you're a little older, right?
Sure.
How old are you?
Do we
Today or yesterday?
So I was on a call with Kara, my partner, yesterday, and she was like, "So how old are you turning?" She knows I will not remember, and I'm like, because people are gonna ask you tomorrow, and you should figure this out. I'm like, yeah, 44.
40, okay, yeah. So you're 2 years older than me, but your younger brother is, I think, a year younger than me, or is he the same age?
Yeah, he's a year younger.
Yeah. I'm 42.
He's 3 years younger than me. He's 41.
Old.
Okay. Thank you.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! But when you moved here, your older brother was old enough that he didn't come to school.
Yeah, he just finished university before we left. Yeah.
So we just never met him because I met you through friends and through school and stuff like that. So there was years where you had always talked about your older brother, but nobody had ever actually met them. So we just assumed you were making him up.
For a while I was. I willed him into existence.
I
I brought him into this world.
I lied for so long. He became real. A real boy. Who's going to kill your party?
A void dragon.
What the hell is a void dragon?
A very large dragon that is trying to eat all of us.
Comes from the void.
All right, hold on. I'll help you out here. Void dragon weakness.
Love that you just were like,
Pathfinder 1E, if that makes a difference.
Are they cute? Did you give them a name?
I didn't have a chance. It just tried to eat my face.
Has anyone tried to romance the dragon yet?
yes, seduce.
I didn't have a chance. It tried to eat my face.
Well, that's a classic opening move for a void dragon.
What's your charisma at? Just curious.
He's very low.
Ooh.
You know, eating face is like that is in the realm of flirting, though.
That's fair.
That's true. That's how Void Dragon. That's their
Which
love
face
language.
is it when they draw blood?
7.
That sounds right, yeah.
I know how bases work.
Honestly, I've never been able to keep track of anything past, like, second.
This character for Kemper Hats is a cleric, an iron priest. We're doing I forget the campaign we're doing, but it's kind of like a technology magic mix thing.
Let's all talk about our characters. Okay, so what's your backstory? Actually, I'm serious. I'm sorry. I get it. Happy birthday, but like.
But you know,
Please.
like, give us some information. This character is named Cromley. He's a very old dwarf who has been raiding technological vaults for a very long time, looking for star stuff, and that is his whole deal. And he's been joined up with this party ages ago, and is mostly using them for their like ability to get him into places where he would not usually be able to get into.
Sounds delightful. Does he like go in and he's like, Void Dragon, and he's like, I'm out for a week.
He's like, you look like you got that handled. I'll be back here. You res? Sure. Here, take some healing. You just stay up at the front over there.
In having someone else play your character, are you expecting that they're going to play your character as, like, suddenly having awakening of consciousness or conscience and, like, diving in front of the team? Or are you thinking they're gonna, like...
I mean, he could. He's
like-
probably could tank a few hits, but he doesn't like to. He likes tech stuff and doesn't like squishy things.
Since it's not you playing, though, will he suddenly be like, oh my goodness, I love these people. I will save them.
I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I get back.
Fair. Exciting.
If he dies saving somebody, that's probably a good character arc for him to end on.
You'll get a text later today. Happy birthday, your character's
Yeah,
dead.
I
Got-
actually one time in college was in a game and the first text was someone telling me something went wrong without explaining what. The next text was the DM saying he was very, very sorry.
Oh.
And then somebody said that they'd gotten my character killed. And then they explained that the fight had happened and someone had been running my character too and had not really paid attention to where they were in the field because they were keeping track of theirs. So I ate a couple grenades.
Oh, were they holding you in front of them while they were running? Oops.
Not that anyone ever explained to me, but I wasn't there.
Oh.
So
Seems likely very
the
suspicious.
GM just gave me some sort of vision from a god and then popped me back.
Oh, that's nice. I love that.
It was just entertaining, the progression of who got to their phone quickest, because somebody said that it wasn't their fault, and then somebody said that it wasn't their fault, and then it got explained to me, and I was just like, how bad could this be?
Set you down. I appreciate that. They're like, sorry for your loss, but it's okay.
No, they were entirely prepared for me to murder them over it.
Oh, good. So they know you.
They were all scared of me, yeah.
Perfect. I have a D&D character story.
Yeah.
So, I played D&D with some friends online for a bit, and my character's name was Cava Prosecco, and she was a Dragonborn paladin, who was just a sweet little muffin. Did not understand how the world worked. She was also raised by humans, so she was like, I'm not actually a dragon, this is just a skin condition, and then she would like spit acid, and she'd be like, oh, my acid reflux, so bad. Yeah. So she also had little clips in her hair, or in her head, so that she would have little blonde pigtails. She's like,
Extensions.
I'm so human right now. Yeah, and really the lesson is just to embrace who you are and understand that if you want to be who you are as a paladin and embrace your dragon or pretend you're not a dragon, just be who you want to be. There's an important story, and then I moved to California, and then I was like, oops, she's dead.
An important affirming story about like growth, and then oops, she's dead.
Yeah. I'm really invested in playing this game, and I'm out! Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It was, actually, there's probably some art online of how beautiful she was.
Maybe Tara, has there been a fan gamer drop this year? I don't think so. I actually don't know. I'm not too sure.
Not during outshifts.
No. I mean, if you go to the VST website, vst.ninja, and navigate your way to the graphs that they have, you could probably gauge whether or not we've gotten one, because there will be a gigantic whoop.
The old spike.
But I don't think we have. I don't think we have yet.
James, do you have a D&D character story?
Not really. I haven't played D&D since high school.
What? Are you allowed to be here?
I don't know. I kind of we played a bunch of D&D. Like, that's how I met Bill and Morgan and Graham. Really, that's
Really?
like kind of like one of the things we did together that bonded us, basically.
It's part of your origin story.
Played D&D at Bill's house, like originally with Bill's dad. Like this was like grade 9, like late grade 9, early grade 10 or something like that. And
Was his dad the GM, or was he one of the
yeah,
players?
he was a GM. And then once we stopped doing that and we just started playing between ourselves, we got into we would play every Saturday, but it would be the kind of thing, it was like, 15-year-olds playing D&D on a Saturday in high school, where we would get together at like 10 a.m. and we would play D&D until 8 p.m. where we would maybe play 3 hours of D&D and the other 8 hours was us just screwing around or playing video games or walking down to McDonald's and buying like literally dozens of cheeseburgers, because this was back in the day when you had 59-cent hamburger Wednesdays and like 69-cent or whatever it was cheeseburger Saturdays. And we would go down and we'd each buy 10
You're grown boys.
because we were 15-year-old boys, and that's what you do.
That was like $5, right?
Yeah. And then we would, the way we would play D&D, which was not particularly well suited to actually like finishing games, is we would constantly rotate through settings and GMs. So like for a few weeks, you know, Bill would be running Temple of Elemental Evil, and then I'd be running I ran a Birthright campaign. I don't know if anybody remembers Birthright from like a billion years ago. I don't even know if that's still a setting or a thing. I'm not entirely sure, but I did that. And like Jer ran Ravenloft, and it was like all over the place. We were kind of like, everybody had their own setting, everybody had their own game, and it was not wildly conducive to actually finishing a game of D&D. All I really remember from those early days of D&D was getting bit and killed by a snake from like a chimney, and then being resurrected and coming back. I was an elf and then came back as a halfling, and I was pretty bummed. I was like, what the hell? I wanted to be an elf, not a freaking halfling. That's like the one core memory that I still have.
Was your character resurrected as a half?
Yes.
Or
I was it was like you could come back to life and you can keep playing this character, but they're not going to come back as an elf. They're going to come back as something, roll a dice.
oh, okay. So it was not prescriptive necessarily of like it has to be.
No, it was literally just we rolled a d20 and I was a halfling now.
I would love to see pictures of you guys at 15 being super nerds. So
I mean,
bring it in.
I can find them.
Thank you.
Probably.
I think Kate's in chat. Kate
Actually,
might find them.
that early might be tricky. The problem, I think, because like at that time, we were like right at the very beginning of digital photography, like the late 90s, early 2000s, when we were like in high school. So like, I think I have some photos from back then that I can scrounge up, but there aren't many. The real photos that I could really scrounge up are like early 20s and onwards.
You broke all the chairs?
They broke all my chairs? What? I don't remember that.
I like the idea. I think of it as like a John Cena broke. Like you were upset that your character died. You just like,
Bash! Screw you, Bill.
you were 15, so you could like bounce back really.
Yeah,
easily.
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
You shouldn't do that now.
So I heard us telling D&D stories.
Please.
I have a DM story. I ran, I think the way I can tell this story without necessarily spoiling it for people who haven't played this campaign, although it's an older one, it was a 5th edition campaign, and I ran for some friends one of the out of the book D&D provided campaigns. And there is an event in that campaign where you can go and meet the big baddie pretty much right after you start. Like you have to make a series of poor decisions, and then you kind of get locked into a scenario where you go and like meet the big baddie. And my players were all like level 3, and this is a campaign that I think runs to level 16 or something.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a good level for meeting the big baddie.
It's a great level for meeting the big baddie, and so they all freaked out, but I was so proud of them because we had our druid turn into a giant squid and restrain the big baddie, and then the wizard cast silence, which meant that the big baddie couldn't use any of their like massive skills because they were all vocal based, and he couldn't speak and he couldn't move out of the zone of silence because he was being restrained. So they were terrified, but they were level 3 and they weren't gonna kill him, but they were holding it down.
Aw, good for them.
So proud.
He's
of
so
them.
proud. Of them.
So
Grew up
proud
so
of
fast
them.
from like level 1 to level 3.
I know, my babies. So
Soraya, were you the person who had a DM who let them like get a bag of holding and then like drowned a cave bear by just having water pour continuously out of the bag of holding?
that's hysterical. I wish that were me.
That got dark. Don't tell the bear.
Sorry. It wasn't an anthropomorphic bear. It was like a cave bear, and I can't remember whose story this is, but like the GM was trying to like go easy on the party, so they gave them this bag that could like generate their basic needs. So like if you need water, here's water. and they were like, "Oh, we need water."
Dang.
Just like left the tap on.
That's great. Murder bag.
I had one where I just stymied my GM at one point because we were playing in a setting that had like kind of a sci-fi post-tech explanation for all the fantasy races, and the halflings were the ones who were supposed to run the generation ships while everybody else was in cryosleep. So halflings were also goblins. If they were in like the wrong conditions, they would turn green and gain like radiation resistance and lose all of their inhibitions. And in a world where everybody, like, the ship crashed and all of the races have settled into being, like, separate things instead of jobs in a sci-fi empire, you can be a halfling and become a goblin and then recover. So that was my backstory, that had happened. And I'm the cleric healer, and I was, you know, a cannibal bandit for a while, but I got better. So we're starting this campaign, and we come in, like, this city's having this problem with all these murders, and we find out that it's a cult, and they're trying to make sacrifices to raise these gods that were locked away long ago, and we're supposed to interrupt their ceremony, and then there's supposed to be like a scene of like the ceiling crashing in, and like the god's not gone, but we ruined the whole thing. And it was supposed to turn into a cutscene because we were all supposed to be paralyzed by a fear effect. But with the goblin backstory, I was immune to fear effects.
Oh.
So I'm like, but so it doesn't turn into something that you just described to us. I still get to keep interacting. And they're like, oh, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I say hi, and I see if the half-trapped evil god will talk to me. And he's like, I guess it's like, hey. And I was like, okay, so the whole breaking it free of being locked up thing requires sacrifices. People have to be killed. Does this city have the death penalty?
Oh.
Yes, it does. Okay, well, let's get some city officials here. Let's talk to the god and get them to agree that they're not gonna go on like a horrible rampage against these people for being the descendants of those who locked them away, and we'll let them out. And the GM was like, I can't think of a reason to stop you. So I made this deal with this like evil god from millennia ago or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I don't see a reason to keep you locked here. That seems kind of evil of us because you are a thinking being. You're halfway out, sending you back to like sensory deprivation forever. That would be wrong. There's this region over here that's super crazy. People claim it's where the gods are like freaking out. Stuff falls out of the sky. Just go over there. You'll have way better time over there than here in the city. We'll just like, these people were gonna die anyway. I don't know what crimes they committed, but I'm not interfering with this legal system to save them. So like, let's make it useful. And the GM was just like, okay.
I love it when GMs like have a vision and you're like,
No.
yeah, actually.
So every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I got this great story to tell. But do you?
I had a GM in college who set up, there was like this ogre camp that we were supposed to, like, he had a whole thing where like, oh, you know, you could fight your way in, or you could sneak your way in, and we're like, we're gonna traveling circus our way in. He goes, excuse me? Well, my character, this was in the time when you would like roll your stats, like now it's kind of like a balanced system of like you can pick what your high stat is and your middle stats
Point
and your low
buy.
stat. Yeah, there's a point buy system. But it used to be roll, and I had rolled like perfectly on strength while playing a little gnome. So I was a like massive strong man of a tiny little gnome guy, and I could pick up huge objects. I was like, so yeah, I'll be a tiny little strong man. Our elf over there learned how to juggle one day when we were bored because we were like leveling up, and he saw juggling was one of the skills. He goes, that's funny, I'll do juggling. At one point, my tiny gnome had been nearly killed by a bear that our druid later tamed and made his friend.
Oh,
And so, as part of our like, you know, like trying to make up that relationship, the druid taught me how to like ride the bear.
oh my gosh.
So I was a little strong man that could ride a bear, and we had our juggler, and then the rogue is of course like, well, I can do acrobatics. So we traveling circused our way in.
Yes. Brilliant.
I love that.
They'll never see that coming.
That's just genius thinking, honestly.